was my second year. What was it? What was my second year? I went to Hutch, Kansas.
Okay.
So that was a pretty good experience. The big tournament for JUCOs.
Really?
Yeah, it was a pretty good experience.
So that's good. So you did that for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next 2 years of college, you went where?
The next 2 years of college, I went to Williams Baptist, which is now a university.
Okay.
Yeah, they upgraded to a university, and that's in Walnut Ridge, Arkansas.
Walnut Ridge, Arkansas. So from Kennett, that's about how far a drive?
About an hour 30.
An hour and 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah,
So when you go there, do you get to play there?
I did get to play there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm guessing they still had you work on your defense and all that, getting in people's space, you know?
Yes, sir. That's what got me there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because actually Coach Vaughn told me about the trial that was there.
So that's, okay, so you were at MAC and you might have been done.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and try out.
I came home for a year, and then the next year, I was told about the workout at Williams Baptist.
So you went and tried out and made it.
Yes, sir.
That's important.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, you got to be able to. I mean, I think that's part of the ticket, man. I think that's how people got to get out. They got to have enough belief in themselves.
Right. In my drive was so committed to where, like the year I did take off, I worked at a factory job.
Okay.
At Tenneco in Paragould.
Okay.
My sister worked there. She referred me on for the summer. I was doing summer help. And after every day, I worked. I would come home, go running, dribble the basketball, get my little cardio in, keep the basketball in my hand. And then after that year, that's when I went and tried out, and I got that scholarship.
Yeah, see, that's important, I think, like, because, you know, part of the, like, this is a fun hobby that we're doing, you know, that I'm starting with my brother, you know, part of car recording studios, the Chris and Andrew Webster recording studio, which you're in, and, you know, making these videos, but I want to help. I mean, I'm going to put a lot of time into something like this. Like, I want to try to help other people. And so the thing that I'm trying to figure out is, and as we go through this, is I picked certain people to interview because, like, there's something about these people that helps them make it in the world. Like, and so, see, that's pretty interesting. So you, even though you're working in a factory, which there's nothing wrong with working in a factory. Lots of people work in a factory. You know, but I think a lot of times it's hard for people maybe with such a creative drive to work in a factory because, you know, you're doing a lot of the same things over and over again.
Right.
You still got to have that outlet. You know, one of the things I like about the job that I have being a teacher, and especially being a JAG teacher, is like yeah, there's a lot of it's the same, but you never know what you're walking into. Like, you know, it could be different. And I think helping people is good. And so, like with your story, you know, you believed in yourself enough to say, all right, I'm going to go work the factory, and then I'm still going to go play, and then I'm still going to go try out. And that, I think that's important. So anyway, so let's get back to it before I get off too sidetracked. So you go, Williams Baptist, play there. Tell me a little bit about your experience down there when playing. Where'd you get to go? What was it like?
It was a pretty good experience. We went to Tennessee, went to New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah, went to New Orleans.
I love New Orleans.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a pretty good time, man. We went there, we got there a day early. We went out to eat. We just enjoyed the scenery, you know.
Love New Orleans.
Yeah, and we played the next day.
New Orleans is a neat place because it's like it's, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the funnest, dirtiest place like there is. Like the streets are dirty, like it smells bad, like at least in parts of it. The food is amazing and like it's so cool, you know, and then you got the swamps outside of it. My brother and I went down there. We've been there, gosh, 2 or 3 times, but every time, I mean, man, I go anytime. I love New Orleans, and you know, if my mom happens to watch this, she's gonna get all nostalgic about New Orleans. She loves it more than anybody I know. But yeah, it's a hell of a place. All right, so what else about Williams Baptist? Anything else about that that's pretty cool? Like, how was the basketball? How was that? What was that like? Just the actual being on the team. How hard was it?
It was. I mean, you got some people who could go.
Yeah.
So you got to work for each spot that you know that you want. Because when I got there, the coach's mindset was he wasn't going to play freshmen as much. So I mean, you can be good,
Mhm.
but you have to prove to him every single practice that if you want to play on this varsity level, you gotta show up and show out.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, like high expectations. I like that.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. I made a lot of friends there. Like, I mean, we still communicate to this day.
That's good.
I still communicate with all my friends and teammates from the Middle area. So, I mean, it's true when they say when you go to school, you find true friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a long bond that we'll have.
Yeah, something about being put through the grinder together,
Yeah.
going through that hard stuff that just kind of bonds you together. You know,
Mhm.
that's a big deal. All right, so you graduate from, so you played your basketball. It's hard, but enjoyed it. It's a worthwhile experience. So then you graduate. You know, got you. What kind of degree did you get?
I got my liberal arts degree.
Liberal arts degree.
Yes,
And
sir.
then we were talking. You know, earlier it seemed like we both came. You came back to Kennett about the same time that I was moving to Kennett.
Mhm.
So like somewhere around 2016, you know, 2017 there. I came in May of 2016.
Mhm.
You know, so you were, so you came back,
Mhm.
and then so you came back and you weren't working at the district yet outside of just coaching.
I was just coaching.
So where'd you work when you first came back?
When I first came back, I was working with Skeeter Kell.
Yeah.
Chris let me work there because I was commuting the whole week, like 5 days, going back to Williams Baptist. Because on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I would have one class, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would have two classes.
That's
So
tough.
yeah, it's tough. So I got to drive every day an hour 30 to class.
And
So
then an hour 30 back.
an hour 30 back, and then I'd come to work. Then after work, I'd go to practice and coach because that's when I had just that semester to go.
Mm-hmm. See, that's important though. Like,
Yeah.
it says a lot about somebody being able to do that. Because there's a lot of people that I've met that'd be like, no, I don't want to do that. That's too much, or this and that, you know.
Mhm.
But they lose track of like whenever they say no, like I can't do it.
Yeah.
What are they really giving up? Well, I feel like they're giving up their dream. Like
Right.
then they're just settling in their own life. And so for you to say, man, this is gonna suck,
Yeah.
but still do it, like that's pretty dang important, you know. That's pretty
Yeah.
dang important. So it says a lot about character and the things you are as a person. So I'm hoping the people that watch this, they'll say, well, you know, if Jack Walls can do it, I can do it. You know,
Right.
hopefully, you know, or if Andrew Webster can do it, I can do it. I mean, like I remember, like I was getting my master's, and I'm a lot older than you are at this point. You know, now. I mean, I graduated in '03, so I'm like what about 8 or 9 years older than you are. But like I was getting my master's, and I was coaching two sports, and teaching JAG, which is a lot of outside the classroom stuff as well.
Mhm.
And man, that's tough. Like, you know, you get so drained, you know, and you're
Right.
still trying to have all these other things. And but to say that, you know, you did that, that's so. If I can do it, they can do it. They just gotta set their mind to it and do it. If you can do it, they can do it. If they can just set their mind to it and do it,
Mhm.
man,
Yeah.
I think that's where it's at. So I should come back, work at Skeeter Kell. You coaching at Kennett. What are you coaching at that time? What did you coach your first year coaching?
My first year of coaching, I was the 7th grade basketball coach.
Okay. So that's like a full circle thing. Did you play basketball when you were in 7th grade?
I did.
There you go. And all of a sudden, when you were a kid, did you ever think, man, one day I'm going to be coaching kids or helping them, or what?
I didn't. Well, I mean, as a young kid, nah. But I always told myself that I wanted to come back and give back.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my motive.
That's important. I mean, like, again, you know, you got to pay it forward. Like, there's been people out there that helped you, and so you
Right.
want to, you know, you want to pay it forward to help somebody else. And I think that's important too.
Yes, sir.
All right, so but you work at the school now. So how did that all come about? What are you doing now for the school, and how did that come back?
I'm a teacher's aide.
Okay.
In
What grade do you do that in?
6th grade.
6th grade. Okay.
Yes, I'm a teacher's aide, 6th grade for learning disability.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, weren't any positions open, so except that one, and they asked would I do it. I said, of course. I mean, it was a foot in the door. So
Yeah, foot in the door, man.
I mean, so why not?
Why not?
You know.
Now you've coached more than just 7th grade basketball now. I mean, that was 2016 or 17 when that started. So
Yes.
we're at
Yes.
2020. What all else have you coached since then?
The add-ons, I have middle school school basketball. I'm assistant for middle school football.
Okay.
I coach middle school track, and I'm assistant for high school basketball.
There you go.
So.
And we've partnered up a little bit on track before, and it's
Yeah.
been, you know, the stupid coronavirus stuff knocked out this past track year, and I was just, dude, we were gonna be so good. We had so many kids, and they were so good, and
Yeah.
just it would have been this year. This was a year we kept saying was our year. I think we would have been definitely top 10 in the state finisher at varsity level. But they say there's some good kids in the middle school that are gonna come help fill out this varsity track team eventually. So
It is.
I hope so. Hope that works good. All right, so you've coached lots of different things. It's been fun working with you on some of those things.
All year round.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're gonna keep you busy. So let's talk a little bit about. So like everybody has somebody to look up to. Like I always looked up to Aaron Pixley. Like always, he's my head football coach. That's one of my guys. I just, for whatever reason, I always looked up to him. Like he just seemed like couldn't shake him no matter what. He'd always be so dang tough that you just could never beat him, you know. And so I always looked up to him. So in your life, maybe professionally or just life in general, who do you kind of look up to, you know, look up to maybe model after or whatnot?
Well, as in life, I would say my mother.
Okay.
I would say my mother. Because she, I mean, like I said, she worked 2 jobs just to provide for 3 kids as a single mother.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess that kind of reflected me as, okay, well, if I can see her bust her butt for, you know, to provide for 3 kids, why can't I do it just with it just being me? So I can have everything set in stone for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I went about that. But as far as through the district, I would say Coach Vaughn.
Coach Vaughn. Tell me a little bit about Coach Vaughn. What kind of things do you look up to him for? Like what do you see in Coach Vaughn that you admire?
Oh man, Coach Vaughn, he's a great person. He's a hard worker. He gives you the mentality of, okay, if you want to get this done, then you got to get it done. Yes, I'll guide you, but I can guide you, but you have to get it done yourself. So he's going to make sure that you're in the position to get things done how it's supposed to be done.
There you go. That's good. I mean, that's important. You know, I think that you know, he's probably been a part of your life and helped you out, and I like Coach Vaughn too. And it's just like what you said. Like he's going to work hard, but you know, he's going to give you the opportunity to do it. And you know, if you want it, you better go do it. You know, that's the way it is. So that's pretty interesting there. All right, so let's take a look at maybe a little bit more of you as a person here. I'd like to examine that a little more. So, you grew up, you know, how many brothers and sisters you got on your daddy's side?
On my dad's side, I have 2 brothers, and I got, what, 6 sisters?
Okay.
6, 7 sisters.
Uh-huh. So that's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids. That's all right.
Yeah.
But then on your mama's side, you said you got the 2 sisters.
Yes.
And then grew up with them. You admire your mom the most.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can relate to that too. My mom's a hard worker. A lot of people don't know about my life with that. Like my mom grew up, like, well, she's a military kid early in her life, but then she grew up in like one of the only white kids in her whole school growing up. My mom grew up in inner city, like down by the Arch, down by Crown Candy, all these places, St. Louis, like inner city up there, you know, and it was all kinds of crazy stuff. And she moved down this way to Boot Hill, and then I showed up and whatnot. But my mom's a hard worker, and I can definitely relate to looking up to your mom. You know, I think that's a big deal. But all right, so in your life, let's talk about something fun. Where's somewhere you traveled that's cool? You think that be neat sharing about?
I went to Virginia.
Okay.
For my stepbrother's wedding.
Okay.
Which I was in, and we had fun.
Yeah, the weddings are nice.
Yeah. And then I went to Orlando, Florida for a family vacation.
Yeah.
And we went to the Wax Museum and went to places like on the Strip, went to markets. I mean, I had a girlfriend back then, so we basically spent all our time shopping.
Yeah.
It was fun though.
Yeah. That's good. So, what part of Virginia did you go to? Was it like kind of by the beach, or was it more by like in the middle, or
his wedding was on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we had a hotel room by the beach, and then we went out that night before, and it was amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Man, in my life, like places I love the beach. Like I love the beach. If I wasn't doing what I do, I could totally be a beach bum. Like for real.
Yeah.
Like I'd be a big beach bum. But
Yeah.
I love the beach, and I love New Orleans and the South. And I don't know. It's in my blood, I guess. I don't know. All right. So what in your life, or maybe like your happiest memory, or maybe something in your life that maybe you're the most proud of?
Oh man, I would say graduating college. Honestly, I mean, the reason that it means so much to me is because I'm the only person from both sides of my family to even attempt to go to college,
And you graduated.
and graduated. So I feel like that's a big plus for me.
I mean, you can't take that away from you.
Right.
You know, like you did that. So let's say, you know, I mean, just think about it. Like the kids I work with every day. You know, my first year in JAG, we had probably 75% of the kids we had, give or take, had one of these two things. They either had one parent that was in jail, or they had one parent who didn't graduate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's tough. And like, you know, like in your life, you could say, you know, maybe you have kids someday or whatever. You could be like, they ain't never gonna have to do that. They'd be like, well, what, you know, my dad graduated college. You know, that's a big deal. Like it's a big deal. Like my mom graduated college, and so from a little kid on, I never thought that I wasn't gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there never was a time in my life where I didn't think, well, I'm just going to work. Like I just never thought of that. And there's nothing wrong with just going to work. I mean, the only thing I feel like there's something wrong with is just doing nothing.
Right.
You know, do something.
Yeah,
Like if you can, do something.
I agree.
You know, but I mean, God dang, man, that you're right. That's something to be proud of. I mean, like you're the first one. Like sometimes we don't realize how far that could go.
Yeah.
I think, like, so like let's say your kid someday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dad graduated, and so in their brain, they don't think they're not going to be something. They always think, oh, I can go do this. Well, my dad could do it.
Yep.
And then if their kid see that their dad, and then their grandpa did it in their brain, maybe they're just like that. So we just don't know how far reaching. I mean, it may not work out like that, but it's more likely to work out like that probably. And so you know that's what I think about that.
It's a 100% chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I call it breaking generational curses.
Yeah, yeah, you got to do
Yeah.
it. You got to do it. I think that's the thing, you know. So, got kind of a silly question for you. So, if you could have any kind of superpower, what would you have?
Ooh. I would have to say the flying ability.
Yeah.
Just whenever I want to get up and go, I can just go.
You just go. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
I have nothing to worry about. I don't have to wait. No nothing. I can just get up and go.
Just go. No plane tickets. No
plane
coronavirus.
tickets,
Nothing to worry about.
No nothing. That's why I find birds fascinating. Honestly.
For real?
Yeah.
They can just fly,
Yeah.
man.
They can just fly.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. So let's say, how do you want people to remember you? Like, so you're here, you're on the earth, doing things. We never know how long we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hopefully it's a really long time with lots of great things, but we never know. So when you're gone, what do you want people to think about you, remember you as?
I want people to remember me as a caring person, a helpful person. Just a good-hearted person.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm trustworthy.
Yeah.
Because people confide in me about a lot of things that they're not comfortable confiding in someone else about, you know.
Sure.
So, I mean, that tells me that they trust me in some kind of manner so they can just talk to me about anything. So, I hope they remember me as that person.
I hope so too. I mean, I think you're well on your way with those things as well. All right, so let's get into this music here, because this is interesting to me. This is interesting to me. I think it goes back to, I mean, I don't know this, but just knowing you a little bit that I do, like you believe in yourself, like, because you put down music, you basketball, even when you're working at a factory, you graduate college, all these great things.
sir.
So let's talk about this music. So you've been putting out music on YouTube for about how long now?
Say about 7 years.
Okay. And so, we got hopefully we've got a big audience here checking this out.
Yeah.
So let's say people wanted to hear some of your music. What would they type into YouTube to hear?
You can type in my name, Jack Walls, JACKWALLS. You can type in my album's name. You got Blessings from the Hood. You have A Needle in the Haystack and Rhymes and Poetry. You can also type in my name on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, all the music websites.
So you're on all those?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me about that. Were you always putting it on that stuff? How did this come about? Like, tell me about this.
That came about like 2 years ago. I put out 2 albums in like 1 year.
Really?
Yeah. Cause I got a friend. I went to Williams Baptist with his cousin.
Okay.
And we were real close, and that's how I met him through his cousin. Cause we played basketball together. And,
okay.
We got in tune or whatever and talking music, and I was always wondering how could I get my music on websites, other than SoundCloud and stuff like that. So he told me about a little distribution called DistroKid. Well, I could pay like $25 a year and upload as many albums and singles as I want, and it'll get published through Amazon, Google Play.
So that's all you gotta do.
iTunes. That's it. That's it.
So all these aspiring rappers, that's the route they could take to put their music up there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you hear all the time about how, oh, I'm gonna be a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make music, and a lot of people don't make it as far as you have in this.
Man, I mean, I love music. Some people are doing it just to say, oh, I make music or oh, I rap. Well, don't get me wrong. Most people rap about different things, but what is the content that you're portraying?
Yeah.
To the people who's actually listening.
Okay.
What
are some of the things? So do you write your own music?
I do write my own music.
Okay. So like, how does that process work? Do you start like with the lyrics, or do you start with the notes, the beat? How do you do it? How do you make music? What do you do?
I'll just grab a beat. I'll listen to it a couple times, and excuse me. And however I want to approach it, that's how I'm going to approach it. Like, it could be how I feel that day, or something I want to get off my chest about a certain situation. That's how I angle my music.
So you're gonna hear the beat first, like the whatever it is, the beat.
Yes, sir.
And then it just kind of comes to you. And so do you film yourself saying it? Do you write it down? How do you go about putting the two together, meshing them together?
Well, I have my own mobile studio, so
okay.
so